Alright guys, welcome back to another one. So today for you dudes, I've got quite the interesting scoop that I was filled in about a few days ago, and I've been wanting to talk about this, so let's have at it. It's actually to do with Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's not necessarily good news, but does make for some interesting discussion nonetheless. I'm sure that most of you guys are probably going to be angered by what I'm about to tell you, but I do have some information about some original plans for Kingdom Hearts 3 that unfortunately did end up getting cancelled to do with worlds. This information is coming from a good friend of mine who I do trust. They have a source who did work at Square Enix during the development of 0.2 and Kingdom Hearts 3. In fact, they were an artist on both projects. This person actually resides over in Japan, and they were the same person who filled me in about how there would be no Square Enix inclusion in Astro Bot. This was before the game's release. Of course, Astro Bot then released, no Square Enix inclusion. So I absolutely do trust the information that I have been given here. The first thing that was said here is that Cars was actually planned to be a world in the game. In case you guys don't know, this was actually confirmed a little while ago when the Kingdom Hearts 3 Premium Showcase demo was data mined. Within that, there was a tentative world list for the game, and on that list was Cars. It said here that this world was apparently planned to be quite small, so this could have been one of the reasons as to why they decided to drop it. I think we've all collectively tried to envision how a Cars world would work in Kingdom Hearts, mainly because it is a beloved Disney Pixar franchise. Would Sora, Donald, and Goofy be vehicles? I would assume they would be if they wanted to protect the world order. I've always imagined that it would play similar to the PlayStation 2 game, where you literally get to drive around just with some like Kingdom Hearts flair attached to it. Maybe you can use magic or special attacks while you're Sora car. I've always imagined though that if this were to get into Kingdom Hearts, it would very much be a mini-game sort of world, so the mention here of it being a small world to me does make sense, along the same lines as something like 100 Acre Wood. It's a damn shame though, because if I were to have a choice between the 100 Acre Wood, the one that we at least got in Kingdom Hearts 3, to a Cars world, for argument's sake, say it was going to be a racing minigame world, I would 100% go for a Cars world.
I'm sorry, man, but the fruit and flower and vegetable patch thing suck!
Speaking about Cars though, I would eventually like to see it included into Kingdom Hearts. Maybe not so much as a world, but I absolutely would love to see Lightning McQueen as a summon, and for that summon to work, similar to that of the Pete D-Link finisher from Birth by Sleep. Now, the first proper world that was entirely removed is Radiant Garden. A lot of us were hoping to return to Radiant Garden and to have it act as a hub world. Now, we did get Twilight Town in Kingdom Hearts 3 as the hub world, though compared to Traverse Town in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Radiant Garden in Kingdom Hearts 2, it didn't really feel the same acting as a hub world, where you have this sort of mid-game visit where you return back to the world, something big happens, and then the story progresses. That wasn't really present there for Kingdom Hearts 3. In fact, most of Kingdom Hearts 3 was very much focused primarily on the Disney side of things, not so much original world. While Kingdom Hearts is absolutely not Kingdom Hearts without the Disney stuff going on, I still very much enjoy the original environments and worlds that we get to explore, and there was a severe lack of that in Kingdom Hearts 3. It's definitely one of the factors that I consider to be at least disappointing for the game. But Radiant Garden was supposed to be a proper world outside of it appearing in just cutscenes. The person that was told this information theorizes that maybe the gummy phone was put in place as a solution to cutting the world. So rather than having Radiant Garden where you would return back to sort of progress the story forward, talking to Riku and Mickey, now you've got the gummy phone, you don't actually need to go to Radiant Garden to catch up with all of the characters that reside there. This would also explain the severe lack of Final Fantasy characters, though I do believe that there would have been different ways for Square Enix to handle this, whether it be the characters residing in Twilight Town or even other Disney worlds. Of course, Nomura eventually explains the absence of Final Fantasy in Kingdom Hearts 3 by explaining that because there were just so many stories that needed to be explained throughout the game and so many different character conclusions, the team just simply didn't have enough time to incorporate these characters. It's intriguing though, because quite a lot of Radiant Garden was actually constructed for the purpose of just the cutscene, and it's very highly detailed as well. I'm at least satisfied that we got to see a modern HD look at Radiant Garden, but it acts more of a tease really compared to anything else. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Radiant Garden was going through its restoration phase after Sora had sealed the keyhole in Hollow Bastion. This means that the world is slowly returning back to its Birth by Sleep version. So if it had been an actual world in Kingdom Hearts 3, we'd get to see a more modern and probably expanded version of the world we got to see in Birth by Sleep. It is a city after all, and the worlds were bigger in Kingdom Hearts 3, so it really is a shame that we didn't get to see this world in all of its glory. It really would have worked perfectly as the middle portion world to sort of break up the first half and the second half of the game, with going to Twilight Town at the very beginning of the game, catching up with Haina Pence and Olette, and then when you finish the first Gummy Ship sector, you then go to Radiant Garden and catch up with all of the Final Fantasy characters and familiar faces there. If Square had done that, I don't think it would have this significant feel of lack of original worlds in the game. And it really would have helped with the plot of the game, having something interesting and substantial actually happening midway through the game, rather than all of the interesting stuff being dumped right at the end. This was, however, removed due to time constraints, and it's really not surprising considering that the Kingdom Hearts team were already pushing the time limit enough with the delays that had already taken place for the game with the eventual release of 2019. The second world here is Scala Caelum. It was originally planned to be a proper world with actual exploration and events littered throughout, but this was scrapped again because of time constraints. And this is something that I've always assumed, especially if I'm thinking back to the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 launch event back in 2014, thinking back to the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that was shown there for attendees of that event. This trailer though was never shown to the public, however there were descriptions that funneled out, and the trailer mainly revolved around this new mysterious world, which at the time we had no idea about. It was theorized to possibly be the Land of Departure, but in actuality, it was an early version of Scala Caelum. And most of you guys will probably remember this, but there was an art rendition that was created by Zephyr, recreating one of the scenes that was shown in that trailer. And that's of Sora in the study room, so the classroom of both Xehanort and Ericus, walking towards the window with the chessboard. It seems as if it was depicted in an almost cutscene manner, which personally tells me that originally there were much bigger plans for Scala Caelum. This one right here though is the biggest tease of them all, because this is hands down probably one of the most intriguing, interesting, and gorgeous worlds the Kingdom Hearts series has ever introduced. In the base game though, Scala was simply just used as an arena space for the final fights. So you have this gorgeous, amazing backdrop with incredible verticality and this intense sense of I just want to explore every nook and cranny, and you don't get to do that. Now, Remind did offer us the Breezy Quarter area, which gave us one additional area added onto Scala that we actually did get to explore with proper enemy spawns and chests, but it still wasn't that Scala Caelum expansion that we were hoping that was either going to be in the base game or the DLC would provide. We know that the Kingdom Hearts team were really struggling to try and fit absolutely everything in, especially if we're looking at the end portions of the game. And this is quite apparent. A lot of stuff feels very much rushed and sort of skipped over. And a lot of people dislike the conclusion of Kingdom Hearts 3 because of the way that the ending was presented. But it's obvious that Tetsuya Nomura and the team were trying to conclude so much that had happened over the span of almost 20 years at that point, where it's not surprising to me that certain things or original plans were cut, looking at a proper, fully fleshed out Scala Caelum. But don't worry, we know that we will be going back to Scala in Kingdom Hearts 4, as there will be a playable Mickey segment that will focus in on this world. I may as well mention this for those who are out of the loop, but there were originally plans to add an entirely brand new world for the game's DLC. Nomura and the team were already planning this world, but came to the conclusion that it would be better to incorporate this in a future Kingdom Hearts title when they next get a chance. It is believed that the world that Tetsuya Nomura was planning was in fact going to be Quadratum. So the secret episode wouldn't have just been the Yuzora boss fight, but would have actually featured Quadratum as a world, which we know is going to be one of the center stages of Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, the last thing that I was told about here is that Auron was originally planned to return for Olympus. And apparently they did at one point attempt to add in an arena system as well, but due to the fact that there are several enemies that are far too big for an arena and do have special combat events, they didn't end up adding it in. But again, this is something that ended up getting removed due to time constraints. This just keeps killing me, especially the arena mode thing. We sorely missed an arena mode in Kingdom Hearts 3, and apparently they were going to add one here. Also, to see Daddy Auron out of the underworld, oh my god. You know, just to know he's happy. That would have been blessed. We know that at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, Auron wanted to go off and shape his own story, and there's no one left to protect. So it looks like Square Enix were planning on some type of a continuation of his story. Maybe we would find out what he had been up to in the few months between Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3. Given Auron's theme of death, however, I do feel as if he would be better suited to have an inclusion in Kingdom Hearts 4. While I'm pretty sure that both Donald and Goofy are currently in the underworld seeking Hades for some type of assistance to help out with Sora's whereabouts, what if Donald and Goofy also crossed paths with Auron for help as well? Square Enix definitely do like to keep a lot of the ideas that they originally have for their Kingdom Hearts titles and save them for future entries, so I do hope that some of the ideas that were unfortunately removed for Kingdom Hearts 3 can come to fruition in a future Kingdom Hearts installment. Now, I'm pretty positive we won't end up exploring Radiant Garden in Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm sure there were a ton of ideas that Square Enix just couldn't execute for Kingdom Hearts 3 that will hopefully be repurposed for Kingdom Hearts 4. So yeah, definitely an interesting scoop. Very depressing. Very disappointing. Radiant Garden definitely kills me the most though, just because Twilight Town, while the few areas that we got to explore in the game were gorgeous and to see it presented the way it was really cool, it was significantly underutilized in just original worlds overall in the game, if we're at least comparing the flow to past Kingdom Hearts entries. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Be sure to slippity slap that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. A big shout out to my wonderful patrons and YouTube members. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll talk again real soon.